What's up everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Serious Sunday. In today's video, we will be talking about Kamiyah Mobley, an infant that was snatched away at birth on June 10th, 1998. She grew up to know herself as Alexis Manigault. She later found out, when she was 16 years old, that the mother that she knew to be her mother her entire life actually kidnapped her from her biological mother in Jacksonville, Florida. So today I will be basically going over the case a little bit and discussing my opinion on both Gloria Williams, the kidnapper, as well as Kamiyah Mobley, also known as Alexis Manigault. With the abductor, of course. Her name was Gloria Williams. She was a beautiful, young, bright woman who grew up in the church, who's really involved in her community. But unfortunately, she did end up getting into a terrible relationship. After leaving her baby father that she had 2 boys with, she ended up in another relationship that unfortunately was very abusive, very controlling, very manipulative, and she was in a really, really dark space. Gloria Williams thought that having a child with this abuser would help him be less abusive. Unfortunately, we all know that that's not the case, but unfortunately that's what he promised her, that, having a baby will calm him down, will make things better within their relationship, he won't be as abusive. So Gloria ended up getting pregnant. Far along within this pregnancy, I'm not sure exactly when, but she did end up having a miscarriage and did not tell anyone about it. Not her boyfriend / abuser, not her parents, not her siblings, nobody knew about this miscarriage. Obviously, she was a little further along, so she still had a bump, so you can tell she was pregnant. However, on July 10th, 1998, after she left work, she drove down to Jacksonville, Florida, and got off this exit and arrived at this hospital. There still has not been a definite reason. Everyone has their theories of why she decided to take this trip down this interstate and get off at this specific exit and end up at this specific hospital. Ended up specifically in the maternity side, like the maternity wing. However, she stated she was just in the wrong state of mind. She wasn't thinking clearly and she just went there. Gloria Williams actually lasted in that hospital for 14 hours without anyone saying anything to her, questioning who she was. No one. She just stuck around for the longest time. She actually hung around the maternity room, like where they keep the babies after birth, and kind of just was staring at them for a really long time. And so they're still really unclear as to if she just was like looking through the babies and just picked what baby she wanted. There was reports that she did ask questions about the babies and the parents and things like that as she was constantly walking around. And so let's fast forward to Shanara Mobley. Shanara Mobley was 16 years old. She was living in the streets, living in the hood, living a fast life. Didn't really have many goals, and when she became pregnant with this baby, she thought that this was her sign to get her life together, and she was really, really excited. Yes, she was young, but she did have a good support system from her baby father and her baby father's family, friends, things like that. So she was not worried about the whole providing for a baby aspect. That really wasn't her thing. She was just more excited and happy that she had a baby that was more of like going to save her life, so she had a reason to get her life together. All right, so now that Shanara is holding her baby, she's falling in love with her baby, she's admiring her baby, here comes Gloria Williams. Gloria Williams pretty much told Shanara, like, hey, I'm just a nurse, or every new mother is assigned a nurse to kind of stay by your side, be like your personal caregiver, kind of help you out type of things, help you get rest, things like that. It even got to the point where Gloria even helped Shanara get changed up, washed her up and everything like that, help her relax in the bed, make sure she kept her company, had long conversations with her, make her feel as comfortable as possible. About 5 hours into Gloria sitting with Shanara, Shanara began like dozing off. She is tired, she just gave birth, she's young, she's tired. As she was falling asleep, Gloria Williams actually picked up the baby and actually grabbed the binky for the baby, and that woke up Shanara just a little bit. And Gloria was like, no worries, she just has like a fever, I'm gonna take her down. Every baby has to get checked on an hour or on a schedule to make sure that they don't have a temperature, that they're okay, breathing fine. And Shanara's a new mom, she's 16 years old, she doesn't really know that this is not the case, that's not protocol. So she understood. She was like, okay. She was like, I'll bring her right back, like 15 minutes. As she was leaving out of the room, here comes Shannara's baby father's mother. So they're not married, so it's not like her mother-in-law, but the grandmother of the baby, I should say. She came in and she was like, oh my God, I've been waiting all day to see the baby. I can't wait to see my granddaughter. And she like peeked at her, and Gloria was like, no worries, I'll bring her back. Give me just 15 minutes. We just have to go get her check her temperature. And the grandmother was a little suspect. First of all, she did have a huge purse. If you're a nurse and you're working, why are you carrying around your purse? Like, there's lockers for that. You just don't do that when you're at work. You don't carry around your purse. And also, she was just a little suspect about the weight, just the aura that she got from Gloria. She did not like it. She just didn't have a good feeling. But anyway, she didn't say anything. She was like, okay, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. And Gloria Williams left out of the room and walked right out of the hospital after stuffing the baby into her bag. No one knew. No one knew. Obviously, time to go by. About 20-30 minutes later, Shannara and the grandmother called down to the maternity wing and the clinical side, and just like, hey, where's my baby? It's been a long time. And they're like, what are you talking about? We don't do that. We don't have your baby. And when she found out she doesn't have her baby, that's when all hell breaks loose. Like, she's freaking out. She doesn't know what to do. This woman just took her baby, and she has no trace of her. There's no way to even fathom where her baby can be right now. She doesn't even know the woman that walked out. She assumed that it was a nurse that was assigned to her to care for her.
She should have never left out my arms from the beginning.
With her mother and grandmother offering comfort, 16-year-old Kamiyah Mobley is reliving Friday afternoon again and again. She still can't make any sense of what happened and why someone did it.
Please, please bury my baby. I know you. If you don't have no kids, if you was faking a pregnancy, or you just can't have no kids. How you think I feel? True enough, I'm only 16 years old, but I have fantasy. That's my first child. That would be the happiest thing in the world to me right now, is to hold my baby. And I know that she's not going nowhere.
Unfortunately, when it got to the news, of course, she was made out to be a suspect, as well as the baby father, who was actually incarcerated at the time. They maybe thought, oh, maybe he had someone come take the baby because he didn't want to be responsible for it. Or that she was not ready to have a baby, so she had someone come take the baby and map this all out. And I think that is just so terrible. My heart goes out to Shannara, who's actually dying to have a baby, dying to have a reason to get her life together. People that were saying that stuff in the media, they don't know what it's like to be in the hood. They don't know what it's like to go through trauma and be young and have to fend for yourself and have to grow up way ahead of your years. They don't know what it's like. So I can only imagine the heartbreak and the trauma that Shannara had to go through during that time period, and being only 16 years old. So my heart goes out to her 100%. Let's fast forward. So Gloria Williams travels back up to Waterboro, I believe it is, in South Carolina. And she just comes in, and her boyfriend at the time was actually in jail. But she comes home and she calls her parents and calls her family and just like, hey, I have my baby. Because obviously they assumed all this time she was pregnant. She already had a room set up for her. By the way, she already had a baby bag and all that stuff in the car. She already had a car seat because she was preparing to give birth at any moment. So she wanted to already have her car prepared. So that was her reasoning why she had the baby stuff already in her car, is because she was pregnant. She was preparing to have a baby herself. But anyways, when they got home, they already had the bassinet up. Everything was already in place. It was nothing out of the norm of the fact that she came home with the baby. They just was like, you didn't tell us. And she's like, well, it just happened so fast. And I was fine, so I just came right home. I didn't want to sit in the hospital for 3 days, whatever the case may be. And it was like, whatever. It was really nothing to question. But obviously, this is before technology. This is before Instagram, Twitter, before all this stuff. This is 1998. There's no social media. There's no even the phones, not many people had cell phones, especially cell phones with internet. It just was not a thing. Not even close. It wasn't even, I'm pretty sure, I don't even know with Google wasn't even around yet. I don't know. However, the point is that the news did not spread as rapid as it would today. And it's not like her family could have put two and two together. It wasn't not known. I mean, it was national headlines. However, it wasn't too much to worry about for Gloria. However, Gloria did state that she did prepare for the police to come and get her. She did have a diaper bag set right next to the front door in the closet, and like the front hallway closet, in case the police did come for her to pick up Kamiyah. She would give them that bag, therefore they can, she can have a safe trip back to Jacksonville without being uncomfortable, whatever the case may be. Let's fast forward a little bit. So Gloria Williams named this baby Alexis Manigo. She grew up her whole life thinking she was Alexis Manigo. Gloria had the opportunity to experience first walks, first talks, first school days, graduations. She knows her like the back of her hand, her favorite foods, her favorite colors, what makes her mad, what makes her happy, her favorite activities, all those type of things. That's all Gloria. Gloria received the luxury of knowing this child that she raised really well to be a strong young woman, and she raised her as if she was her biological daughter. Unfortunately, Shannara and Craig Atkins, which is the father, I don't believe I mentioned his name before, so I apologize if I didn't. They're suffering. They lost their daughter, and they had to first live with the media accusing them. Two, after a while, people stopped looking. People stopped really thinking about what happened to the baby. People stopped looking for the baby. People stopped questioning people. It just kind of went under the rug, and Kamiyah Mobley just had to go on about her life and unfortunately try to adapt and accept the fact that her baby is gone. And she had, she started, and as she got older, she had more kids and just kind of had to let the past be the past, but as she's still crucially hurting. One thing I do want to say about Shannara is that she never forgot about her baby. The family members never forgot about Kamiyah Mobley. Shannara, on every July 10th, well, every birthday, ever since her very first birthday, she cut a piece of cake for her and placed it into the freezer for all that time. While she was gone every single year, and she had to suffer. It was the day she had her baby and she lost her baby. So it was just, my heart goes out to Shannara. I can't say that enough. And Craig Atkin, because once he did come home, it was, he was very sad too, because he was happy to find, to have a kid as well. They were just really excited to have a kid. It wasn't something that they were like upset about. So let's get to Alexis Manigo. So fast forward, Alexis is now 16 years old, and she's already considered to be, or like looked at to be like a spoiled brat, because Gloria does everything for her. Gloria doesn't want her to work for anything. Gloria just provides. And Alexis Manigo actually ended up getting a waitress job at this diner, and they actually said, like, we're gonna need like your birth certificate and your social security card, obviously for processing payments, payroll, things like that. You just need it, it's necessary. And unfortunately, being that she was kidnapped, Gloria was not able to provide those documents, those legit documents. Now, Gloria did have fake fraudulent documents for school and doctor visits and things like that, other establishments, but they don't go and check those social security numbers and those birth certificates. They just like took it, scanned it into the file, and that was that. The social security number that she had was actually from a man who died about 15 years ago in Virginia. So it was just some random social security number that Gloria found and attached it to Alexis Manigo's name. So that's when, unfortunately, she had to break the news to Alexis that I am not your mother. I actually took you at birth. She actually gave her a clip of the newspaper that she kept in her wallet and was like, here's the proof. Like, I really did take you. Whatever. Like, I'm so basically, this is a very emotional day. She claims, she's like, I'll turn myself in. Whatever. Like, I'm sorry. Just, and Alexis / Kamiyah, we're getting to the point where I'm trying to still figure out what I should call her. I don't know. I apologize. I'm not trying to offend her or anyone. It's a different situation. So please understand. However, she's like, no, I don't want you to turn yourself in. Like, it's okay. I just won't work. That's fine. However, it was a secret for a couple of months until Kamiyah, she's 16 years old. She's gonna tell people. Kamiyah Alexis, this is so difficult. I'm sorry. This is like, not that it's difficult, but it's just different. You know what I mean? So she ended up obviously telling a friend who told somebody, and it kind of just like kind of got out there. And then so tips start coming into the police department, just saying like, hey, I think I know someone who was kidnapped, and I think this is the real Kamiyah Mobley. Obviously, time went on, they looked into it. On January 13th of 2017, that is when police moved in and they arrested Gloria Williams and took in Kamiyah Mobley to take her to her biological family in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the trial process and things like that. I do just want to say Kamiyah Mobley was reunited with her family, and that was such a tough transition. I can only imagine. And I'm speaking from Kamiyah's point of view only, because obviously Shannara, she is extremely excited, extremely happy and emotional that her daughter is finally home. However, it's not the same because Kamiyah was raised by Gloria Williams. Kamiyah grew up 16 years only knowing Gloria Williams. Never knew of this other mother. Never. Not once. She doesn't know anything but Gloria Williams. And then on Gloria Williams, and of course what she did was wrong. Of course she deserves punishment. However, when you look at the life that Kamiyah had and the connection between Kamiyah and Gloria, if you love Kamiyah, you can't 100% hate Gloria and want her completely ripped out of Kamiyah's life, because that will only hurt Kamiyah even more. So it's a tough situation, and I think I haven't really heard too much about Kamiyah recently. The last thing was maybe about two years ago when she did like a press appearance. But in this time period, obviously it was really, really tough for Kamiyah to adjust. She didn't know. She was trying to keep on this happy energy, this happy-go-lucky thing, like, oh, I have 2 moms, and technically 3 moms, because Craig's the father, her stepmom, he had a wife, so she also had a stepmom, so she actually had 3 moms, and she would joke around like that. One thing I did notice is that Kamiyah and her dad are super, super close, which I love, because I'm a daddy's girl, so I can only love a daddy-daughter relationship, and I think he understands her a little bit differently than Shannara ever will, just because Shannara had to carry her for 9 months, and Shannara literally felt her baby for 9 months and then was able to hold her for only a couple hours before she was snatched away from her for 16, 17 years. So I understand. Shannara literally wants Gloria like gone.
I really feel deep in my heart, I just wish she wouldn't have never came back. I really do. Because you came back. This woman made a mockery of my life when she took my baby. And not only did you make a mockery when you brought my baby back, but you let her help you make a mockery of my life. And this judge allowed this lady to keep reaching out to my child every day. So she's still committing a crime, and you had the right to stop that, and you did not. So no, I don't have no respect for that judge. I don't. And no, I'm not celebrating Kamiyah's 20th birthday. This is the second Mother's Day. I didn't get a text. I didn't get a call. I didn't get a card. Nothing. So no, I'm not celebrating her 20th birthday.
But I don't, at that time of the interviews and things like that, I don't think Shannara put herself in Kamiyah's shoes as being a victim as well, and understanding like, hey, I got nothing to do with this, I'm just the middleman, and unfortunately my heart is my heart, and I love Gloria, and I also love you guys because you guys gave birth to me, and I'm learning you guys as I go, but I also love Gloria because she raised me. Like, you have to kind of understand that a little bit and have a certain level of respect for it, and just kind of, like, separate how you feel about Gloria from Kamiyah, because Kamiyah is what's really important here. She's a young, hurt, she was lied to her whole life, whether she wants to admit it or not. She was lied to her whole life, even though she had a good life, she loved her life, but that wasn't her mother, that wasn't her family, that was not her blood. So this family over here, Shannara and Craig, that's her blood. And I think that's just a lot for a 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old to even grasp, to even understand how to tackle that mentally. I can't even imagine. Of course, we all go through things, but just the thought of dealing with that, your sophomore year of high school, you're already going through regular teenage things, is just crazy. As far as Gloria Williams goes, she was sentenced to 18 years for each year that Kamiyah was basically out of her mother's possession. Because even though she found out in 2016, it wasn't until she was 18 years old of when this all came about. Or she was 17 years old when they were taken in, but by the time the trial started, she was 18 years old. So technically, they usually just say 18 just to round it up. But 18 years of Kamiyah not being able to be with her family. An additional 4 years for other related charges in relation to interfering with custody of a child. So before we end this video, I do just want to give my opinion a little bit. So I do know, at least from the last update about 2 years ago, that Kamiyah Mobley does go by Kamiyah now. She does not go by Alexis. She does answer to Alexis. You know, if her South Carolina family does call her Alexis, you know, they called her Lexi her whole life. It's kind of hard to just change that. So she does answer to that. She does now live in Jacksonville, Florida. She's very close with her father's side of the family. I'm not too sure about the mother's side. It's kind of been like just dead quiet. No one really talks about it. I do know she did go on Ayanna Fix My Life, and she exploded on there. I'll insert a couple clips from that episode because that was really intense.
Why would you even leave me? Your father wants to see you. Your father wants to see you. So what's the point? I don't even know why she's sitting there talking to me now. Your father. What the f*** you don't get? Stop talking to me. What the f*** is your problem, bitch? Your father wants to see you. Where? Come here. No, I'm not staying here. Y'all not bitch, I'm gone. Daddy, I'm about to get the f*** out of here. I'm not doing this to these people. I'm not doing it. I'll curse this bitch out. I'm not dismissing it. Then you got some big bitch like bitch. I'll stab the f*** out this bitch. What the f*** I don't do this? They gonna tell me I'ma stay here and go tell Swerve leave. No. I said it was your choice. Swerve, I said it was your choice. Tell this old bitch she'll get slapped. Can you please let her know that? I done slapped bigger bitches for less than that. Come on, I don't argue with this.
How did you even put this on the board?
Cause he ain't never seen this side. He ain't never had to see this side.
Why not?
Exactly. Cause
who you
who
are.
gonna tell me? I'm gonna stay someplace and tell the person I came out here.
I did not tell you,
So what
Daddy.
you just told me
I said to
upstairs?
her, I gave her family an assignment that
And
they
you're not
would
gonna
do it
answer my
tonight.
phone?
And if she calls, they would not answer the phone.
Exactly.
Isn't that the assignment I gave
so
you?
why would you make it so that I can't leave? Big man looking ass
This
bitch.
is a problem. Yeah, but that's what I'm here for. That's what. Listen to me. All day long, I've been saying to your daughter, "What do you feel?" No, I'm not. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm not. The words don't bother me. What bothers me is that that's inside of her, and nobody is addressing it, Daddy. That's what bothers me.
Don't nobody need to address it, bitch. You'll get hit. How about that? Calm your body down, girl.
I'm out.
I do to you, dumbass bitch.
I'm done.
Bum ass bitch.
I just think she was not ready. I just think she was not ready. I don't think the family was ready to heal certain wounds. I think, you know, of course the family needs therapy as a whole. A lot of families need therapy as a whole, honestly. But I think that their family does need therapy. They need a lot of healing, a lot of growth, a lot of conversations, a lot of boundaries need to be made. However, they'll do that on their own time. And I think it was a little too soon. And especially for it to be that soon in front of cameras, there was just a lot of pressure. I think years and years and years, probably a long time needs to go by of private therapy before they're able to even think about making appearance in the world. However, I do just want to say my heart goes out to Kamiyah. She's the real one suffering in this situation. Not saying that Shanara is not, but she is in the middle of she's in the middle of this battle, and she's kind of put in a place where she has to make decisions, one or the other, and she can't. And I don't think she should have to. I think there should be an agreement that, you know, as long as I don't cross the boundaries, like as long as I don't go to Gloria talking about Shanara and I don't go to Shanara talking about Gloria, she should be able to keep her separate. She is an adult. She has her own phone. She'll be able to keep her separate. Last time I checked, she still talks to Gloria every single day, sends her Mother's Day cards, birthday cards, things like that. From what I last heard about Shanara, she doesn't really speak to her often. She doesn't celebrate her birthday anymore like she used to. She doesn't receive Mother's Day cards and birthday wishes from Kamiyah. So there's a lot of healing that needs to be done there. But this is something I heard in another video, and I think it's very important. So Shanara gave birth to Kamiyah Mobley, but she was given back Alexis Manigo. She's a completely different girl. It's not the girl you raised, Shanara. Unfortunately, that was taken away from you, and you were not able to have an input as to how she was raised for those 18 years. So the girl that you want her to be is probably not what you would have expected her to be. That's because she was raised by another family, and her loyalty does lies with another family on a broader aspect. So unfortunately, Shanara, she has a lot of gaps that she needs to fill up with therapy and a lot of healing she needs to do. She does have other kids, which I know that brings her peace in a way. You know, it's not like she does have something to live for, but I just think as a whole that family just needs therapy and healing, and then they will be able to move forward from there. But yeah, I've been induced into this story for so long. I love stories like this, and not because, oh my god, this happened, this is great. No, it's more of like, how can this happen? Like, how did America let this happen? Not America, but like, how did that hospital specifically let this happen? I can't even imagine. I know one thing, if I ever do have a baby, like, I'm gonna need some type of tracking system on the ankle as soon as it come out bloody and all. Like, you know, it's crazy. It's so sad and it's so scary that you have to think that way. And Shanara being so young, that's the last thing she would have thought about, is somebody taking her baby. She's in the safest place, surrounded by other mothers and other babies in hospital and you know, doctors and nurses and aides and things like that that's supposed to care for them and guide them into motherhood, and that's not what happened, unfortunately. So I just want to end this video off and say thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave some suggestions down below if you guys want to see other videos like this or any other type of topics you guys want me to talk about, any other Serious Sunday videos. I'll be more than happy to discuss. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.